Inviting adventure into your life.
When I think of adventure, I like to conjure a couple of images. Stumbling into a bar in deepest, darkest Africa, happening upon an older gentleman decked out in his bush attire, telling the story about how his campfire was stomped out by a rhino. Or maybe I'm sitting around a campfire while a woman tells the story of riding a motorcycle from England to India.
Let's first admit that adventure is a word that has been manipulated and often watered down by its usage. From people trying to sell adventure miniature golf to genre books that make adventures only complete with active gunfire and cars chases. The spirit of adventure seems a bit muddled.
It wasn't always like that. Adventure used to have a pure and noble meaning.
The dictionary states that an adventure is an unusual and exciting or daring experience. So let's break that down and establish some ground rules for what is and isn't an adventure.
Number 1, there must be risk. Consequence-free environments are fine for playlands and program management, but it's not conducive to a true adventure. Without risk, true risk of some substantial loss, for example, physical harm, financial ruin, public humiliation, or being marooned on an island, the thrill of adventure is lost. Number 2, it must be unusual. The mundane and common are fine things for everyday living, but if we wanted that, we wouldn't be on an adventure. Dream bigger than you dare. Number 3, it must be an experience. Buying things is not an experience. A treasure trove of travel spoons, shot glasses, or memorabilia are fine remembrances, but they're not an adventure. Number 4, it must nourish the soul. Though the dictionary misses this one, I would say it's the most important. Going to war might fill all 3 of the previous requirements, but no one wants to add more of that to their life. We're looking for the stuff of dreams, splendid moments of exaltation that stand proud in our recollections. Number 5, it must be story-worthy. Adventures are beautiful things best shared through stories. Be these stories told to wide-eyed youngsters at bedtime or friends over a pint of lager. Adventures are the rays of sunshine that pour out of us and inspire others to the same. So then, now that we've established the ground rules, let's talk about how you can get more of this into your life. What's that? You're not sure you want more adventure. Well, that's fair. I suppose there must be some who live in a warm bath of contentedness all the time. Me, I was always looking out the closest window from my cubicle, planning some craziness that might transport me out of a 4-hour meeting I was stuck in. If your life yearns not for excitement and new things, stop watching now. For those of you that are left, it's time to dream. Remember when your teachers would yell at you for daydreaming in class? Yeah, well, screw them. Let your mind roam the infinite corridors of imagination and play amongst the stars. Do not let me or anyone else tell you what is or is not an adventure to you. I found my adventure in travel, but I could also see someone starting a business, asking someone out on a date, becoming a full-time artist, or stepping outside their door for the first time in a year as fulfilling those same requirements. Close your eyes. Don't stop looking till something makes your pulse rise. Now you have your dream of adventure. This is a small seed, gingerly sending those first roots and shoots out into an unforgiving world. Like that small plant, you must take extraordinary care if it is to survive. It needs water, your attention. It needs sunlight, your planning. Protect it from predators, those who will tell you how foolish you're being. As for nutrients, your soul will provide all the nourishment that little plant needs to grow, until the day that it can reverse the relationship and begin to feed your soul. Planning an adventure. I hate it when people say, "This is the fun part." They say that about things that aren't fun, trying to make them seem bearable. In our adventure, everything should be fun. Planning is where you turn your imagination into a solid plan for the future. Remember that in the planning process, it is possible that your adventure will change. In fact, it's almost unavoidable. The key is to keep the dream as bright as possible, not falling victim to a constant whittling down of the dream. We have all been taught to lower our expectations to avoid disappointment. Consider instead that we may stretch ourselves to rise to the occasion. You can do this. You know you can. Think of your adventure as if it were a house or a landscape project. This is the time to dissect it and reduce it from the incomprehensibly large dream to small, achievable tasks. What steps need to be done to make your adventure possible? This includes changes to your current life. Now, this is a make it or break it moment, because once you commit to this adventure, your life will change. You can choose to embrace the changes, sacrifices, improvements to your existing life, or you can abandon your dream. I can only tell you that it was worth it for me. This is an intensely personal choice, and one that should be considered carefully before proceeding. Note that this step may include, will include, and should include many tasks leading up to and leading down from the adventure, like climbing a mountain, which this could very well be. It would not do to only have a plan for going up the mountain. Remember that there will be things before and after the adventure, and they deserve consideration and planning. I only caution you to not over-consider the after. You'll be shocked how easy it is to slip back into the day-to-day life if that's what you want. Each of the tasks that are necessary will have a few characteristics that you should consider. Here are a few to get you started. Number 1. What is the end goal of this task? How will I know when I have achieved it? Number 2. How much money, time, or effort will it cost? Where will I get this? Where must I change to make this a reality? Number 3. How long will this task take? Can I work other tasks while I'm working on this? Or do I need to accomplish this before starting the next task? Remember, too, that if you have a specific time of year that you want to do this adventure, you need to realize that extensions to task in the early phase may take you out of the right window. Number 4. What resources do I have that I may have overlooked? Friends, family, sympathetic employers, sponsorships, organizations, etc. By now, you should be starting to get a nice outline of your adventure. Hopefully you're finding the joy in this activity. If the dream is a fire, this is the gathering of wood. Let the thought of how warm the fire will be warm your heart. Putting the plan into action. Now's the time to begin making the dream of adventure by completing the tasks laid out before you. Just as your dream may alter in the stages of planning, so too may your tasks be somewhat modified in the execution phase. This is normal and acceptable. The important part here, and I can't stress this enough, do not change the dream now. That time has passed, and the only way now to change the dream is to go back to the beginning. In this, you may have to take a stern line against yourself. Lord knows I did. This is where the same demon that plagues alcoholics comes to worm its sinewy fingers into our mind. This is where we tell ourselves it's okay to take a break, to break our budget, to put things on a slow simmer. The other danger here is that of the naysayers. These are the people close to us, loved ones, family, friends, even spouses. They tell us to wait for a better market, postpone due to financial concerns, wait till retirement, wait till better weather. You must harden your heart against those who oppose the dream. They're doing what they see as right, but remember, The universe is built to consume the mediocre. We refuse to be mediocre. We're adventurers. Thank them for their insight, but never let them extinguish the dream. At some point, you will find that your preparation tasks are complete, and you may wake up in the middle of your adventure. Oddly, you might find yourself experiencing guilt or anxiety. This is normal. Allow the feelings to build, process, and pass away. Look at your plan. Believe in the plan. Remember the dream. You deserve the adventure you're having because you earned it. You had the vision to dream, the dedication to plan, the will to persevere, and this moment is yours. Do not expect accolades from anyone, as many will be subconsciously jealous of what you're doing. They'll come around in time. Enjoy your moment and take a victory lap whenever you can. After the adventure. Now, it's all over. This is where my own heart can turn against me. Hopefully you can just bask in the joy. Know that the sensation of loss can be very real, but that it does fade. Most people never really achieve their dreams, so the air's pretty rarefied up here. Allow yourself time to digest and reflect before summarizing and rendering some verdict. This will not be easy, as people will want to know the best part or what you learned. As much as you can, put them off. Quiet contemplation or discussions with other people who shared the adventure are the only balms to help pull everything into sharp focus. You'll find that the hard parts, the painful bits, fade with time. The glorious moments, the pinnacles that hold us in rapture, are amplified in our hearts and border the sublime. Capture your thoughts on paper, photos, Facebook posts. Reflect on lessons learned, harrowing escapes, and decide which moments to save only for yourself.
When the time is right, find the right people to share the story of your grand adventure with. Find a receptive audience and share your passion. If eyes glaze over, it wasn't the right group. Take criticism with grace. Show gratitude to those who helped you along the way. You'll find that the ones that helped and encouraged you will be the first in line to hear your story. And now that a little time has passed, a notch carved into your belt, you know that it is not only possible, but far easier than you thought. This is the time to begin to kindle more dreams of adventure. I sincerely hope you find something that challenges,
inspires,
confounds, and delights you. I hope you climb mountains,
fly to space, sail the oceans, travel dirt roads that go nowhere.
Start that business, find that love, or whatever adventure your heart desires. I know you can do it, because I did it.
Because I did it. To grand adventures and a road unending, greetings and salutations from the Wayward Travelers.